Let's go over why you do not need to recruit defense in college football 25. And I know that just sounds insane, crazy thought, but we're going to go over it in this video. I'm going to give y'all some examples how when you just have offensive players, whether it's athletes or normal offensive players, and just move them to defense, they seem to develop better than just regular defensive players. I'm also starting a free monthly email list where I'll have a few different things come out in that email. I expect to see a dynasty challenge of the month. I also have 32 user online dynasties. As spots come open, I'll add them to the email list, and if you're interested, y'all could join. We also have our ebook and monthly membership. If y'all want to check that out as well, tap in. Now with that being said, let's hop right into this thing here, man. So first of all, this Baylor team right here is all quarterbacks. I did a rebuild challenge where I recruited nothing but quarterbacks and I put them at every single position. Look at the overall of our defense. Look at the overall of our defense. We're a 99 overall defense. How many times have you seen that, man? And when I say we recruited quarterbacks at every position, you see O-lineman, left or right guard, 201 pounds. Our whole entire team is full of quarterbacks, whether it was athlete scramblers, improvisers, field generals. We just moved them to different positions and they actually develop, man. It happens in this game. But you see here, our defense has went crazy. And let's go just position by position. And the thing is, it might be a little bit cheesy. Yes, I would agree, man. But it's also a cheesy way and a non-cheesy way to do it if you're picking up. So the cheesy way here is obviously this, man. We have an athlete quarterback and he's playing D-line. He weighs 185 pounds. That's more cheesy, but you can move athlete running backs, whether it's a power back. I probably love the power back the most. Power back with like 90 plus speed, move them to the D-line. Perfect, man. They're going to be a dog, good strength, great speed for a D lineman, and they'll develop great pass rushing ability. But you could do it with any player. We determined with this challenge that height or weight really do not matter in this game. I'm going to do a whole test on it to really find out if it actually matters. But we won a national championship without having O-lineman, D-lineman that weighs above 200 pounds, man. But you see here, these guys' stats are absolutely insane, man. Like 99 strength, 99 awareness, and we did not change these stats. When you move some of these players to out of position, they just develop kind of strange. And you see here, our guy, he's a 93 overall. He's a 3-star normal development. This guy was a bust. He wasn't even a gem prospect, and he's obviously maxed out. But him being maxed out at quarterback and him being maxed out at D-line, two different things. If he was maxed out at quarterback with these skill caps, these are awful skill caps. He would probably be like a 78 overall. At D-line, guess what? He's a 93, man. So just the defense have a lot more forgiving skill caps. And when I say that, it's like if a defensive player had bad skill caps, it just don't matter as much, man. As you see here, they could still get super high in overall. And we just going position by position, man. Another 3-star normal development guy. That's a 92 overall. Bad skill caps once again, but he's still a phenomenal player. 88 power moves, 88 finesse moves, and he has 96 strength. Look at the right end room. Same thing, man. Tim, he was a vital part of our national championship run. And his strength is not as developed, but he's a phenomenal player. 92 finesse, 92 power moves, and his block shedding is low. But you see some of these other guys, 95 block shedding, 96, 98 on the strength. And you see the other guys here, they also got in the block shedding in the 90s, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But also stat-wise, like they also put up pretty good stats. Another 3-star, just normal development guy. Nothing special about him. But he's a lion. He's a dog, man. Look at his stats. 18 sacks this past season, 23.5 sacks, 13 sacks. If we would have kept this guy at quarterback, he would not put up good quarterback numbers because he would never been a great quarterback. You see his skill caps, but on the D-line, it's a different story, man. So that's one thing. If you have just any bust players or any players that's not that good, move them to the D-line because they could actually be a gem. A wide receiver, that's a bust. 3-star, he might max out like a 75 overall. Well, guess what? On the D-line, that same exact player might max out 91, 90, 85. Even if it's 85, that's still worth making a change. But like I said, it's a little bit cheesy when you have a guy, 215, 5'11", playing D-line. But like I said, in this challenge, we could only go at the quarterback, so everyone was undersized. Now, D-tackle is the one position group where I probably would recommend still going with a defensive player. whether you do an athlete center or you just go after a regular D tackle, or you do a power rush or a power rushing DN, you move them to D tackle, or the run stopper DN, move them to D tackle. That's probably, some of your best moves you could possibly do. But one thing about just moving these offensive guys to defense, like they just develop some crazy stats that these defensive guys do not develop. Like this 99 strength. You're not seeing this. You're not seeing this on a regular guy, man. This happens when you kind of, I don't want to call it glitch because I really don't think it is a glitch, but I would call it like a finesse. And, you kind of finesse and moving these guys around. And he's a phenomenal D tackle. Yes, he weighs 200 pounds. Yes, he do weigh 200 pounds. He is light. But like I said, I really don't think height, weight really matters in this game. And we've seen it with this challenge, man. I would say D tackle and then also linebacker, just the two positions where I probably recommend still going after defensive players. For example, the athlete middle linebacker, that's the best thing in this game. That's going to be your best linebacker bet every single time. That athlete run stopper, whether you move him to outside linebacker, keeping them at middle, that's going to be your best bet for any linebacker, man. Offensive players moving over to defense to play linebacker is just not always the best, especially with outside linebackers. They turn to the speed rusher, and they don't develop in the speed rusher. That's annoying sometimes because sometimes you actually want your guy to move to outside linebacker and he turned to a speed rusher and never develop. And then when you do move guys to middle linebacker, they overall just start off lower. But I did find an athlete wide receiver turned into one of the best middle linebackers I've ever seen, because he came in, first of all, 6'5", and he had like 95 speed, and he converted to like a 77 middle linebacker, 77 overall middle linebacker as a true freshman. And he had, like I said, had like 95 speed. He was a little bit light. That's the only issue. He was a little bit light, but like I said, I'm going to keep saying the height and weight really don't matter. So linebacker will be the one position I still recommend going after defensive players. But when it comes to cornerbacks, man, I am all for going after either the slot corner, if you don't want the slot corner, or you want a slot corner that's going to be taller, maybe with more speed. Well, you could go after the athlete wide receiver, and that's going to be your best bet for any defensive back, man. From corner all the way to safety. I don't know what it is about offensive players moving to safety, but they just develop so much better than regular safeties. Like, they just do, and I'll show y'all. First of all, our free safety, 96 overall with the boost. Our other safety, 94 overall with the boost. Well, if I show y'all all the safeties in the entire league, I think they're going to be the highest overall by a good amount. And you see here, 94 overall, the next highest 92, 90. That's a big drop-off with the safeties. That's one thing I don't like about this game. The safety play is just not as good as other position groups. Look at the free safeties. We have the best free safety by a mile, 96 overall. The next highest, 90. We have a 6 overall difference from our safety to the next highest safety. Why is that? Because our guy is an athlete or not even an athlete, just a guy that was on offense that we moved to defense. And the top two safeties, free safeties, are both on our team. Our guy, the 96, and then also the 90. They're both on our team. It probably has to do with the stats shouldn't be like this. He shouldn't have 99 awareness, probably shouldn't have 99 strength. But like I said, it kind of just, like I said, I don't want to say glitch, but it's like a little finesse with these position changes, and you get some really cheesy stats. So do it at your own cost. If you don't want to do this, do not do this at all. If you don't want to, but I will suggest like moving these athlete wide receivers over to your defensive backs. They also develop pretty well, and they don't get this 99 strength like you see here, man. You usually get this 99 strength when you move guys over. I'll show y'all how to get the 99 strength. I'll show y'all. So we made it to position change week and during the off season, and this is really how you're going to get the 99 strength, whatever it is, just get the real crazy stats on some of these players. Some of our guys graduated as expected, but what we want to do here is we want to move some guys over to defense that probably don't belong on defense, man. We got a bunch of quarterbacks here, way too many. All these guys red-shirted, bunch of quarterbacks here. Let's just move a random one, man. Let's just move you. If we move you over to safety, you're going to convert to a 43 overall safety. Well, let's move you, and then we'll also move one of these other guys. And I'm not going to cut because I want y'all to see this entire process. Let's also move Carl over to safety. Nope, let's not do Carl because he's going to turn to a hybrid safety. All right, let's move this guy, Matt. He has the 84 speed. He's going to be a little bit slower, 6'4". But I know if we move him over to safety, he's going to be a 42 overall safety. So we'll come over here. We'll look at our two guys. They're both 46 and 44 overall with the boost. Well, guess what? When we just advance, one of them, both of them, maybe none of them, but usually both of them will jump up in overall, and sometimes they'll jump up and get that 99 strength, 99 awareness. And like I said, it's something a little strange going on, but we found it. So come over here to the free safety room, and they ain't developed as well as we would like. Well, guess what? Matt developed the 99 strength. You know, he didn't develop to be a great safety, but as he continued to play safety, as you know, we go through another season, another year all season training, he'll actually develop this ability cover. You know, his cover rating is dirt right now. He'll develop it. He's a zone corner. That's why his overall so low. He got 33 zone. He'll develop that, man. Keep him on the bench for another year. But you see the 99 strength, that awareness going to shoot up as well. And that's kind of how you finesse, you know, I'll say the off-season training. If y'all are enjoying the content so far, man, drop a like on the video. Check out the ebook. Also, join the email list, all of that. Let me know if y'all want to join the league. We got a few open spots. Tap in. So when it comes to recruiting and you need defensive back, man, your best friend here should be 4-star athlete wide receivers. We only have 2 of them. This should be your best friend, man. These guys are going to convert to slot corners a lot of times. It won't be every single time, but most of the time they convert to slot corners. And what we know about slot corners, they're the best corner in the game by a mile. When it comes to development, they develop the best to get to the highest overall. So that means players getting drafted the most, also means players going to the NFL the most, also means helping out with pro potential the most. They also develop most evenly. So good zone, good man, press coverage is going to be a little bit lower, but the zone and man coverage are going to be more even compared to the zone and man corners. And you're getting that with these athlete wide receivers. Also, if you move them over to safety, they turn into elite safeties as well, man. They'll have good speed. And if they don't turn into a hybrid safety, that's the only issue. You gotta make sure they don't turn into a hybrid. As long as they turn into a zone safety, you're green. If they're gonna turn into a hybrid, just move them over the corner. But these athlete wide receivers, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, your best friend if you're looking for a cornerback or a defensive back in general. Even if you want a middle linebacker, some of these guys can move to middle linebacker. And like I said, if you could get over them being 207 pounds at middle linebacker, they'll be elite players. So we kind of talked through every single position on the defense. I just want to do a quick little sum up, man. So like I said, DNs, I'm all on offensive players playing DN, man. And you can still find elite defensive ends by just looking at the defensive position. You can. 5 stars, 4 stars. You can find some very good players. But I like the running backs moving over the defensive end even better, man. The power backs, because you're getting that speed. That's one thing you're not getting with the regular defensive ends. When you move a power back, athlete power back to DN, you're getting the elite speed that you would not get from a regular defensive end. And they're still going to have the strength, the pass rush ability. They're still going to develop all of that. So I'm suggesting that when it comes to D tackle, like I said, I think just go with, you know, regular D tackles or, you know, run stopping defensive ends. I think it's going to be your best bet at D tackle. Same thing with linebacker, man. Stick with your regular linebackers. I wouldn't suggest moving offensive players over to linebacker. Your best bet is going to be the athlete middle linebacker. Corners, like I said, in my opinion, your best bet is the athlete wide receiver, 4, 5, 3-star, moving them over to corner. As long as they convert to a slot corner, that's your best bet. Other than that, if you don't want to do that, recruit slot corners. You also can recruit athlete quarterbacks. You can move them over to cornerback at times. And then safeties, same exact deal, man. Either zone safeties would be my suggestion, or going after these wide receivers, moving them over to safety. As long as they don't convert to hybrid safeties, you're in the green. One last sleeper, you'll get these athlete tight ends. It's only 1 4-star athlete tight end in this class, but they also convert pretty well to D linemen. D ends, if you could get over them being a little bit lighter, they could play D tackle as well, but also don't sleep on the tight ends. But other than that, that's all I got for y'all boys today. If y'all enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, check out the email list, also check out the ebook, all of that down below. And we on to the next one. Click the video on the screen now for me trying to win every single award in one college football season.